and it's interesting because the Kinks, British.
Yeah.
It's interesting how we have been so transmorgified. I don't know what the word is. Transformed by that culture in
Really? Isn't that interesting though?
Yeah.
It's such a huge
Part of
influence.
who we.
And then I get into and then as I've evolved and I get into other bands, like obviously there's like American bands I like, but even now when I like the larger percentage of new bands that I'll get into are like, I'm like, decades late to the party kind of thing, and you're like, oh yeah, they're British too, right?
Yeah.
I got all. I was I found this really cool documentary. I think it was on Amazon. I found a really cool documentary on the Damned. And totally got sucked into that.
Did you see the Sparks documentary?
No, I heard it was really good though.
It's like 3 hours and it goes by and then the thing is, I only know a few 80s Sparks hits. It doesn't matter. You could know nothing about the Sparks. It's that, yeah, it's, and I would love to see a documentary on the Damned. Like that's.
I think it's on Amazon.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, yeah, see, that's really the thing is that I'll often see people on Facebook that are like either a part of the scene, that like a part of like the Orange County hardcore scene, or like a part of the punk scene, and everyone's like, oh, they should do a documentary on this, they should do a documentary on that. And what I just try to tell people is, dude, turn on your damn camera on your phone and start talking to people, because there can be multiple stories of this, and like your story is different than mine in terms of where you went, but it's really all the same. It's all part of this conversation.
But it all becomes music, and then at some point it'll intersect, and then you bleed over, and you're like, oh no, there's all these punk bands I listened to because I wanted something new to listen to, right?
Exactly.
And I mean, you just kind of keep evolving, and then you happen to stumble upon something that years ago you wouldn't have listened to, and all of a sudden you're like, wow, that's actually really good. Why didn't I listen to that before?
When we started Bad Connection, or one of I think our second song, we wrote a song about Vietnam called Coming Home, but it didn't begin, and it only literally had a note, and you just played, and I give you so much credit because you really should have yelled at me and said, you need to write more than just a note. But I remember I would just, because we had 3 songs, we had the dun, 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 and then we had.
That one I remember for sure.
Oh, you do.
I remember that riff, yeah, for sure.
Do you remember It's My Life?
Yes.
I want you to know that I later recorded several different versions.
Did you really?
Like, with like Tony Two-Line on a 4-track, because Tony got into that stuff, because he got into like home, because Tony was my gateway into home recording.
Okay.
But Coming Home, I don't know if you remember this. You and I harmonized the first verse, and then we started playing it. It was like, coming home from the war, expecting my welcome call, try to forget it, only regret it. I don't know why I remember this. And then you would just crack on the drums, and I would start playing. All I would play would be that note.
Oh my gosh.
And but like, I really think so much of why, like, I will just make a movie and just put out a movie or do something. Why I think you will go into a startup and start a division and start things up is because of things like, hey, we're gonna go into a garage when we're younger. We don't know what we're doing, but we're gonna
figure it out. Yeah,
exactly. And I think that it's like,
it's a great point. Yeah,
I think it all goes back to that, and I think it was like like-minded people that
absolutely.
It makes me wonder what would have happened if, like, I would have gotten better on guitar and then come to you later and said, hey, like, because I didn't get better on guitar until you graduated from high school, and the year after you graduated is when Todd from the band Game Face taught me a power chord.
Oh, okay.
So I'm saying, once I learned the power chord, you learn one power chord, you can figure it out. And by that point, I've been noodling on the guitar that I knew how to strum. But I'm saying, had I known how to do this sooner, I had a drummer, and then I could have walked to his house, and we could have been doing music.
We could have been doing it right out the drum set in the garage, and oh my gosh. Do you remember?
I love that you still play too. I think it's so
Isn't
cool.
that crazy, right?
It's
Still
awesome,
doing
and
it.
you should never, ever, ever, ever stop.
Still doing it. It is. You know, Rachel always tells me, it's like, that's your outlet. You can't just check out. Like, I have to. It is.
Do you try to play every week?
God, no. I sometimes I go years without playing, and something
Oh,
will
really?
spring it back up. Like these guys that Mike and Blake. It's just super cool guys. They're talented. We play. It's fun. There's no pressure. We write stuff, and I enjoy it. And it's a release.
Yeah.
Something comes of it, great. I mean, everybody's got jobs and all this, so you're not trying to do anything. I mean, that wasn't the case ages ago. You're trying to. You're hoping something happens. And
Right.
I've gone that route, and I've done the being in bands, and driving
Doing
out of state.
showcases and-
Driving out of state, crammed in a van, and all that
Yep.
stuff, which are like amazing stories. I wouldn't trade that for anything because those are so much fun.
But it reaches a point. I know what you're saying. It
Yeah.
reaches a point. Like I remember when I was younger, going on tour with bands and doing that, and it's like, oh, this is all I ever want to do. But like I look back now, and I think if I was still cramming into a van, right now at this age, it may not be as like a one-off here and there. It would be okay. But I think to do that all the time, it would be difficult.
It's
for me.
really difficult.